Hello everyone. I hope that you all are doing well. Usually in my courses I like to do a midterm check-in. Since we have 8 weeks of the course, I would like to check in around week 4. Last week I know it was Thanksgiving and I know we all kind of were traveling or hosting guests. I know I was really busy last week, but I still want to kind of check in. The purpose of this video or the check-in that I do is just to kind of go over where we've come from in the course, where we are right now, and kind of how we round up the course and finish it out over these next 3 weeks. I want to thank you all for logging in each week, showing up, really engaging and participating in the course. I hate to say that best class, but you guys have really been awesome as far as again engaging on the boards with each other each week, on time posts, turning in your work, and you guys, I wanted to say that also the last milestones that I graded, they just showed me that you guys kind of understand the concept of the course, kind of what we've been going over, because you all did well on those milestones. And I really want to thank you and commend you guys for the work that you're doing. Um, Over the past several weeks, we've covered topics within social media that I hope that have made you or have given you a better understanding of exactly what you can do with social media. I know outside of the personal uses that you guys are familiar with, I know we all have personal pages probably on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but to see that outside of personal usage, that social media can be a really strong and effective communication tool if used correctly. So I hope that at this point that you're kind of understanding that and it's coming a little bit better, that throughout the course and at the end of the course, it's just really that you're able to take away better ways to use social media when you want to communicate on a more professional level, to know that there are ways that you can do that. And again, I hope at this point that it has opened up and exposed those things to you. Over the past couple weeks, we've touched on the history of social media, the origins, and that kind of help you to lay a foundation of where social media has come from and how it has evolved and how it continues to evolve. And again, that helps. One of the elements that your prompt called for was for you to overview the history of social media. And that's important. You have to think, if you're going to someone or a company or organization and an executive that doesn't really understand social media. They know what it is, but they don't understand it. Being able yourself to understand the history of social media, where it's come from, how it's moving and evolving, and how it continues to do that. That's important. So I hope that that helped you, if you weren't that familiar, or just to even better understand how social media has originated and how it continues to evolve through the years. And we know we looked back over the past decade in our paper that we did this term, but think about social media in the next 10 years, how different that's going to look. So we took a look at the good, the bad, the ugly of social media, pretty much that you can use social media, but you have to know how to use social media correctly to get the best out of social media. I know a lot of people, again, on a personal level, they don't like it because it's so personal, or people get into giving too much information, or it can get you in trouble if you post something and then you can never take it back. Once it's out there, it's out there. And that's important on a personal level, but it's also important on a professional level. So we just kind of looked at what you should and shouldn't do when using social media. And again, in your papers, when we asked about opportunities and limits of social media, that's kind of where that played a part in there. What can you do on social media? What does social media allow you to do, but what are some things that you really can't, shouldn't, or you think that you can do that may not work for you. So after we took a look at that, we looked at privacy, metrics, and analytics. Now again, those are important because you have to adhere to each platform's privacy policies or terms of service in order, when you're using it more so in a professional manner opposed to personal manner, to not get in any trouble, to not have to face any legal issues when you post something. So that's important to know. That's important to communicate to anyone that you're suggesting to use social media for business or their organization. And again, even some of you I know that are starting your own businesses, you want to understand, what privacy terms of service are so that you can be protected and it never comes back to haunt you if there's something out there that you don't want, or that should not be posted on your platforms. Metrics and analytics, they're very important because we need to measure what's working. If you're using these platforms, you just don't want to consistently be posting or thinking what you're doing is working, but you're not seeing those numbers translate into sales. You're not seeing those numbers translate into sales. So tracking what you're doing and recording what you're doing and using that data to find out what you're doing is working, that's pretty much what it's all about, because you don't want to keep posting in the dark. You want to do something that you see is beneficial, and it also helps for you to track what's not working. If you're posting and you're not getting any responses, then you want to know that as well, so you can kind of change up your strategy. So it's important on measuring what you're doing on these platforms. And then this week we're into emerging technology. And that's using technology to help you reach those goals professionally on social media. I mean, there's so many new and innovative things that help you, that work hand in hand with social media platforms. Pretty much like add-ons, you have applications. We talked about mobile coupons, multitasking apps that like Hootsuite. You post one thing and your you schedule your Hootsuite account to post every Wednesday, every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Just one time you hit a button and it's consistently posting for you. How easy is that? How innovative is that? So that's important for you to realize that outside of what you are doing just on social media, posting, there are so many other forms of technology that work hand in hand with social media and makes what you do so much more easier and so much more effective and efficient. There was someone on the boards this week that posted that they worked at a storage facility and that there is an application that allows self-storage facilities to pretty much manage and track everything that they would be doing inter-office on an application. It tracks your customers, it tracks their payments, it tracks move in and move out dates. So again, it's those emerging and innovative technology applications that helps you and assists you with using social media better. So again, that's kind of where we have come from and where we are right now. So within the next couple weeks, ending and rounding up the course, we're going to be finishing up on your final project. This week, your second milestone is going to be due. I will post much more detail about that in a separate announcement, and I'll give step-by-step instructions on what exactly that's going to be. But in a nutshell, this week you're going to be selecting the 2 platforms, social media platforms, and discussing those in detail. Pretty much the platforms, if it's Facebook or Twitter, Instagram or Snapchat or a blog, that you feel, the platforms that you feel are going to help your organization meet those business goals that you have talked about in previous milestones in submission. So that's kind of what this milestone is going to be about. And this is where the research matters. This is where you want to go outside of just your plans and what you feel is going to be beneficial to the organization, and provide outside research to help support what you're putting in your paper. Because think about it, if you go to an organization, you want them to have some solid examples of what has worked for another company, maybe in the same industry that your organization is in, or maybe a competitor. You want to show and support, by providing those outside references, at this point. So again, I will go into more detail about that, in your milestone overview, but I just wanted to again check in with you guys. I'm really having a great time. I appreciate working with you. If you have any questions, don't forget to post them on the general discussion board or just shoot me a quick email. Thank you and have a great one, guys.